All right, guys, I'm Airway, and this is Airway the Shed. Today we got DNK.
What's good, people? It stands for Diverse New Kind.
Hell yeah. Take us back, man. What was your childhood like, and where were you?
Childhood, honestly, I think it was a bit of a journey for me. I would say typical, stereotypical, like, black family minus the drugs. Like, it wasn't a lot of that around, but, like, you know what I mean, little sips of beer in here, you know. But most of all, my parents were pretty much cool. My dad was, like, in and out of jail. It didn't affect me too much because I still, like, seen him, and my mom made sure that I did and everything. So, like, I think I definitely got the best of both worlds, especially with how they wanted me to be. I think I turned out exactly how they did expect, but a little more. But for the most part, it wasn't too bad. My mom had husbands. She worked a good job, so we pretty much was always good. And on top of me and my other siblings from my mom, her husband had kids that came over with us all the time. So, I mean, I was always a big family. Yep, until the divorce. Then after that, it was just, me and my family. We've been chilling.
Have you made any contact with them or the other siblings around your age?
Oh yeah, all the time, honestly. I got one sister that's out in Indy. She doing her thing, you know, trying to get out into fashion and whatnot. My little brother's still here, and pretty much all the rest of the siblings.
No, let's take it back, man. Were you into music, sports growing up? Let's say middle school. Let's talk about that time.
Middle school, honestly, I was more of a jokester. I wasn't really involved with none of it. I didn't really get into music until like pseudo high school. But like middle school, I definitely sang, danced a lot. I was primarily a gamer and dancer and cook. Been cooking since the age of 6. But like, you know, music was just kind of always, it was always there for me, I felt like. Because, I mean, when you're in a world full of rules, regulations, emotional, disturbances and whatnot, it just seems like sometimes that music just grabs your soul in a way that nobody else can. And I just think that definitely it hit home for me. You know what I mean? That's what made me get into it more. Not to mention I had a friend who was kind of like Lil Wayne. So he was the young homie beating all the older homies in rap battles. So I kind of looked up to him a little bit.
Hell yeah. So let's say getting into high school, were you, like you said, still the jokester? Were you partying?
Ooh.
Did you actively make music at this point, or what was going on for you?
I would say it was kind of like a very subtle, growth in it. At first, I mean, I liked my singing here and there, and I would mix some words from certain songs, just come up with my own lyrics. And then it got to a point to where I just was like, it shouldn't be hard. You know what I mean? I want to at least try to get out there. And I started writing poetry, real more geared towards like the emotional feelings that some people feel that, may not want to talk about. So I think it was kind of like a match made in heaven. I definitely think it could have went a different direction with my other talents and whatnot. But honestly, I'm glad that I honed in more on music.
Oh, yeah. Now, did you go to college for music or anything?
Oh, no. Me personally, with the personality I have and the connections that I make with people, I felt like it would be a waste of money. Like, I mean, already coming from a family who didn't have the money to put us in college, I mean, I definitely got like a scholarship for cheerleading at one point, but I mean, my life definitely changed completely. I got one scholarship for flipping. I was going to a church camp at the time, CDYC, and I got it for Bethel.
Nice.
But sports, nah, I didn't do any of them. I did, I kind of did. My 8th grade year, I did track and wrestling. I was at Summit. But for the most part, in high school, I did cheerleading, show choir, and dance.
Hell yeah. What led you into that instead of going a traditional route, you'd say?
What led me into it is, honestly, I felt like I was more gifted with movement versus like singing and whatnot. I didn't think like the way I grew up, I didn't think and have the mental capacity to actually, form and put those words and sentences and all together. And I felt like I could definitely move more. I mean, to be honest, I couldn't dance for anything when I first started. But when I got it, it was just like I couldn't stop. And everything followed. It was the dancing, flipping, singing, and then it just kind of all gradually came together into what I do now.
Yeah. Are you religious?
I would say yes, I do believe in a higher power, but I'm not 100% agreeance with being Christian. Me personally, I understand the rules and lessons that they're trying to teach, but I don't feel like I don't feel comfortable with going to watch a preacher, because I mean, when it comes to religion and stuff like that, I always take it as like, you know how they say pretty much do what you do, and if you're doing what you're supposed to, people will follow. That's what I believe in. I don't agree with someone who, it's because it's supposed to be a spiritual job. It's supposed to be emotional. For someone to take their time every day, and I feel like it just pinpoint too many people that they see. Instead of being more spiritual, I think it just becomes more of like a show. You know what I mean? They do a little too much, to be honest.
Did you go to a lot of church or different churches growing up?
Oh yeah, I went to any and every church. I actually like going to church. Like if anybody invite me, I'll go. Like I was in youth group. I did praise dancing for some churches. Yeah, I was real into the church scene. I used to go like 2 times a week.
Was there like a certain moment, like you said, a switch or?
The switch was I never really liked the being in the church with the adults, because to be honest, I don't have a very good attention span to sit there and listen. Because my dad definitely used to hit me with the couldn't even hit the bathroom before I had to go, read the Bible. I was like, dude, I just kind of got tired of it. I really was geared to listen to my peers, and I mean, I did that, I think, in a very good way, because most people get caught up in their peers and they don't know how to be themselves. And I feel like I definitely was able to do that, but that's when I took it upon myself to stop going to church. I'm like, if I already feel this within me and I already live it, and, there's people around me that know that I'm living proof of it, what's the point of going to show out for other people who have no idea about me?
Hell yeah. So you grew up in Fort Wayne?
Yes, sir. Born and raised.
What do you think about the music scene itself?
Oof. Too emotional. I think a lot of us out here is too grown to be doing what we do and acting over the way we do it. Like, for example, a lot of us don't want to work together. We claim that we will, oh yeah, dog, we cool, you cool, you know what I mean? But it always ends up being nothing. Or if not, it turns out that the other person got something planned. Like I worked with some dude here for a minute, and I mean, it was definitely some good chemistry. And it was like after Kobe died, he apparently took a break. The man don't know Kobe, so I mean, it didn't make sense. But I mean, I understand everybody got their own, way they live their life. But come to find out, he was working with other people still, not just his family, because he tried to tell me it was just his family, and I know, his people. And he was working with people and catching attitudes with me for trying to, get back in the stew. And it's like, me and him had I would talk to him and call him on the phone, but he was expecting me to read his post. I'm like, what's the sense? You could have easily just texted me or called me. We real deal like a little too competitive, and we also we're too judgy against what the next man is doing. So if you grow up listening to trap, you will more than likely not 100% like the rest of the music. You will be geared strongly towards trap. And I think that's just how it like the music scene affects our people in our society around here. Especially, that was the biggest for me, the trap music. Band Gang, all them, yeah, bro, they were wilding. Everybody was out here doing too much, and I took it upon myself. I'm like, I like trap music, but I dislike it. There should be no reason we all going to parties and there's nothing but trap music playing. There's so much good things and music out there, but everybody here just wants to be the gangster. Everybody don't want to be nice. So it's like, I think we definitely need to do a little bit better on our music scene, try to get more people involved in the right ways versus just having it out there for everybody to interpret, you know what I mean? Because right now, our music scene ain't doing us no justice.
Has that spilled over to, let's say now, bigger picture, Fort Wayne itself? Is it a wannabe thug culture? Is that what's on the rise when you say that? Because I know you say that for the trap genre specifically.
I would say yes, because truth be told, A lot of these guys out here, a lot of these females out here ain't really like that. But I'm not sure how people live their lives or what transpired for them. But I think a good most people go out of their way to be that. And I think it's somewhat the music, but more so just the community that the music has built.
Okay. So do you get a lot of pushback for saying this?
Me?
Yes.
You think
you get a lot of pushback for sharing your views on?
All the time, to be honest. But I'm definitely one to not stray away from action, to be honest. Because really, it's just my opinion. I understand, me personally, I understand where people and everybody come from, and I don't try to step on that. But at the same time, it's a way simpler way to do it than how most of us do it here. You know what I mean? We should definitely listen to one another and, help each other out. From time to time, I got people who hit me up asking me opinions on music. And I could just shun them away, be like, yo, that's trash, this and that. But I'm like, yo, you got, I'll let them know, like, what they're doing good. And then I'll let them know, like, yo, you might need to work on your tone a little bit, get a little more pronunciation out there. Like, that's what I feel like for our music scene we should be doing. And, just for our economy, honestly.
Yeah. Now, were you started Rad Passion?
I was one of 4 CEOs who did start Rad Passion. And honestly, we definitely were doing great work within the shortest span of time. Molly knew everybody. I really only knew Molly. You know what I mean? It was a struggle to even get the money for the label to start. So, I mean, when I had that opportunity, I was like, yo, I'm for it. I've been working off and on with Molly plenty of times throughout years. You know what I mean? We grew up together. So I had trusted him. And I mean, even now, I still trust him because he definitely tries to do the best by his people. But if he don't, I mean, you got to kind of, leave it at that because the man is not, he ain't superhero. But for the most part, I think our music and the way we worked could have definitely worked out a little better. But I think it was just too much emotion, and especially with everything going on with everybody's lives. But it was a great time, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you see yourself starting or continue on Rad and with a bunch of new members, or how does that look? What is it looking like for you in the future?
Me personally, I'm gonna be honest, I am a little not up to date on the terms and musical terms and business aspects of what I need to do. Me personally, I would love to start another group, and I've already kind of set myself up a little roster and everything of people. Honestly, I've been finding people Ubering, the funny thing. And I mean, great quality though. Some good artists, good dedicated artists, and they have their own spaces too. So to be honest, I think if I do start this over, it'll have to be with not super like-minded people, but we gotta at least have understanding for one another. Because if we don't got no understanding, there ain't ever nothing gonna work. That means, because then at that point, you got everybody yelling at each other, people trying to, be over it. Nah, we don't need all that. Everybody need to just do what they do, mind their own business. And if it's important for the group, share it with the group. Don't keep it to yourself. But yeah, no, I definitely need some more, I wouldn't say committed, but I would be more in tune, more in tune to the group people. I need more people like that.
Yeah. Who are your music role models?
I would say I listened to a lot of Odd Future growing up, Chris Brown, and to be honest, my homie PJ. You know what I mean? That was somebody who had skills like the greats. You know what I mean? And I was just right there in front of him, and I was able to see him articulate and all that other stuff. So to be honest, I would say those 3 are my main people. On top of I was born in the 90s, so I got all the good music then too.
Okay. So I know you said you Ubered. How long have you been Ubering?
Too long. A couple years, honestly. Now, not like me driving Uber. I actually take Uber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have a car.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant.
Yeah, no.
Because I was gonna ask, and then what was the craziest Uber experience? Driving, or have you had a bad Uber Lyft share before?
Yeah, not really. It was awkward. I had this one dude. It was my ride, but he kept addressing my girl, and then he just kept he would talk to her. It was nothing weird, but he would address and talk to her, and it's bro, my name is literally on the Uber. And then he just kept looking like weird. He had kept giving creepy looks, like he was looking in the mirror the whole time. But I'm like, yeah, no, I was glad to get out that man's car. He was making it too tense.
Would you give him on a rating?
Oh, he would have got a solid 2. Solid 2. He good driving, but creepy as ever.
Hell yeah. So tell it what happened. Let's say after high school, what was your life like? Were you in a relationship? Or did you have kids? What's transpired since then till now?
Okay, so I had a kid back in high school. I was 16, and basically from there, I was at first kind of embarrassed. I'm like definitely the good kid. I don't really get into none of the like anything negative. I definitely stayed away from it when I was a kid. So having a baby definitely changed me, especially while being in school. I was known as like the jokester, good, kind-hearted, like. And then when I felt like people would look at me, I'm like, oh, I thought they was gonna look at me different, like I was like some type of animal or something, you know what I mean? Because like you go from being that nice, kind-hearted dude to where people don't think you're having sex, and then boom, you got a child, you know what I mean? So that definitely changed me personally. Like I would say like my attitude. I went from being so nice and naive to being a little more stern and open to the world. I mean, I was kind of always open to the world, but when I had that kid, it just was like, boom, it's no playtime. And if I'm allowing certain adults and certain people to talk to me certain ways, especially within within reason, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm not a hothead or nothing, but like there are certain ways we need to talk to each other. And, you know, it just kind of it helped me work on that, because I definitely was a hothead, loudmouth kid. Like I was definitely ready to pop off at any moment. And as for my music, my child loves my music. Like if it wasn't for her, honestly, I probably would just still be like lazy a little bit with it. I mean, I still am. I'm trying to figure more of my life out. You know, music can't be everything for me right now, but it definitely does have a strong push. But truthfully, after high school, I just worked. I was like, I'm not going to college. It's not for me. And then I tried at one point, though. I was going to go to the School of LA for music. So I was trying to get I was going to have them send me a laptop. I was trying to do the loans for it and everything. And I ended up not going because it seemed like a scam, to be honest. So I ended up not going, and I just ended up worked at pretty much anywhere busy. Like my first job was 10 caps.